Hey, welcome back to another training video here in Conversational CamPro. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be focusing on another basic toolpath. This is going to be the Indexing Mortise Toolpath, and just like all the other basic videos on toolpaths, we're going to answer two questions. What is this toolpath, and what does the cutter do to the part? And two, how do we control it? How do we program it? So we'll help visualize this using the Vectric Aspire software, as well as showing the cutting taking place towards the end of this video. So let's jump on over to our Aspire software. We can get started. Now, in the previous two processes that we've covered the multi-sided surfacing and multi-sided cut. Both of those machined flat surfaces on our material. In this case, we can machine a square section here as a cross-section view. And that's exactly what we've done here to set this up. From here on out, a majority of these toolpaths that are focusing on indexing are going to be applying toolpaths to a multi-sided flat surface of some kind. And so here we've already taken this blank, okay, and we've actually machined it square over the length. So we've left the end here untouched. It's the first 1.5 inches. Not machined at all, but we've machined now 18 inches long square that is this size, which is 2.5 inches square. Okay, and we use the multi-sided surfacing with the surfacing cutter to do that. So this is in preparation for all the toolpaths that we're going to be adding to this surface. And the first one that we're going to be focusing on in this video is the mortise. So many times this application is being used to apply joinery. For example, this could be a table leg. And the top, let's say, in this case, 3.5 inches, I want to apply a mortise pocket up here so that the skirt or edging of our table can be joined directly to our table leg if I want to have a really secure joint. So mortise and tenon is a really strong way of doing that. So we're going to use this toolpath to create this process. Now what this is going to do is we're going to take just a straight or a spiral cutter. This is a side view of a 1/4 inch cutter that we're going to be using throughout this cutting demonstration. And it's going to come over to a starting position. It's going to plunge into the material at a specific depth. It's going to cut down and back, removing all the material in the center of this mortise shape. And the mortise shapes that we have access to here in CCamPro are going to be a 4-sided square or rectangle shape of any length or width, and even additional controls that we'll get into in other videos. Today we're going to be focusing on creating this shape itself. This is a 2-inch long mortise that is 3/8 of an inch wide, and we're going to pocket it down whatever depth that we choose at the time. Okay? Now, this is a top view, so it's hard to simulate this. If you actually had a 1/4 inch cutter, which would be a circle like this, from a top view, this would be the 1/4 inch cutter rotating, and we can see that it's going to come and machine all of that material away on the inside of that pocket. Okay? So that's all that's going to take place at a specific depth of our choice. Now, if you look at the cross-end view, you can see here that this mortise is off-center. And that's usually the case. The majority of the time, most mortises are situated in that type of position. It doesn't have to be. It could be the dead center of our spindle, but we need to take that into consideration when placing this on our flat surface using CCamPro. Okay. All right, so let's go to CCamPro and actually toolpath this. And we're going to open up our projects and our turning samples that we've been using so far. And here in the turning workstation, we have our multi-sided sample. Okay. Now, again, this has already been programmed to machine it square. That's what this did previously for the part. We're now going to focus on just adding the mortise to that 2.5 diameter section. So we can go to indexing, and we're going to go to mortising. We'll add that to our toolpath list. Okay, so let's go see what we need to program this. So the first thing, just like every other toolpath, is we need to select a cutter. So the tool that we're going to be using that I was just demonstrating is the 1/4 inch cutter. Now this could be a straight cutter, it could be an up cutter, a down cutter, compression. There's a couple of types of cutters that you can use. If you don't want any tear out on the upper edge, so for example, here on the cross section, if you don't want any tear out on this upper edge, the up spiral will cause a little feathering of the grain to come up on those edges. If you don't want that to happen, you can use a down spiral. Now a down spiral is going to generate a little bit more heat, but because there's plenty of space around the cutter, it's just going to throw the chips behind it. And so you could use a down spiral in this scenario just fine. It will jam the bottom section of the pocket with dust that you'll have to vacuum or blow out. And so there's a couple of pros and cons based on the cutter that you're going to use. The one that I'm using here in the cutting demonstration is a down spiral cutter. So if we come over here and go to our end mill, down cut, and a 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch cut length, and we'll select that tool. And this will be tool number 2. Okay, let's go to the next parameter that we need to fill out, and that is we need to enter our A-axis degrees. Now what this is referring to is the stock here has just been milled square. Okay, so this face is sticking straight up and it's parallel with the cutter face right now. And if we say 0 degrees, it will place the mortise on what is facing the cutter right now. If I had a mortise, let's say, rotated like this, and it was down here somewhere, okay, over here, I would need to rotate this, okay, a certain number of degrees so that this face becomes parallel with the cutter. Okay, so I can get access to that mortise. And so that's talking about the degrees. We will cover that in different scenarios. I just want to make sure it's clear on what this was referring to on that question. So this one is 0 degrees for this face that we're currently going to be working on. So we can come here and put A-axis as 0. And then what is the diameter section that this mortise is being applied to? And so that is the square section that we have now machined this to. So if we measure this, a vertical dimension, that is a section diameter of 2.5 inches. So we can put that here in section diameter 2.5. Now, this is where we need to apply the size of the pocket in the mortise itself. We have an X and Y start position and an X and Y end position. So let's go grab those parameters from our drawing. Okay, looking over here. Okay, now we have to make sure we're grabbing the dimensions from the right location. So we're going to add some dimensions, and let's do the X-axis first. So I'm going to do a horizontal dimension from X0, which is the far left edge of my part, to the far left edge of the mortise. Okay, that's my starting point for the X-axis. And again, from X0 to the far right side, that is my ending point. Okay, so the X ending position, so that's 2 there. Now we need to find a Y-axis starting and ending position. So we're going to use a vertical dimension, and it is critical that you measure from the middle of the material. Okay, and there's lots of different ways. My mouse is automatically snapping to the middle sections of the drawing, so I know that it's in the right location. But if we measure from that middle of the spindle, that's where Y0 is in the turning center, and make sure we're going to the center of our mortise. And that will give us a height, or you could say in this case, a Y-axis parameter. Okay. Think of this as a top view looking down, and so this is the X, and this is the Y, which is off-center. If the Y is centered in our blank, that means this is a negative parameter. This is negative 0.625 in order to position that mortise in the right location. So in this scenario, this mortise has the same Y parameters for the Y start and ending position of negative 0.625. Okay, so we have 2 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5/8 in the negative Y-axis. So let's go put those in. So we have our X start position, which is 2 1/4, and we have our X end position, which is 4 1/4. Okay, now we're going to put our Y-axis start, which is negative 0.625, and we're also going to be putting that in the Y-axis of negative 0.625. Okay. Now we're going to put in the parameters of the size of the mortise. Now that we've located where the mortise is, let's determine the width. So this one, if we go measure this, the width of this mortise that I drew is 0.375, and that is 3/8 of an inch. So let's go put that here on our mortise width, 0.375. And then our cut depth, how deep do we want to cut this mortise? For this demonstration, I'm just going to cut 3/4 of an inch deep, so 0.75 inches. And the rest of this is all defaulted. And so now we can press finish and save. And that is now ready to generate our G-code. So let's uncheck the multi-sided surface since we've already cut that on the machine and we're just applying the mortise to the surface. So now let's go down here and generate our G-code, and we can save out our file. Under our toolpaths, we have our index mortise, and here we are going to call this Indexing Mortise G-code and save that. And now let's go out to the machine and watch this take place. Again, the material is already at 0 degrees, so the cutter is going to approach the starting position, rough out the center of the pocket, and then climb mill around all the edges, and repeat that for every pass. All of these cutting advantages are already implemented into this Indexing Mortise Toolpath in Conversational CamPro. You now have a good understanding of how to use this toolpath. Go give it a try. Now, these types of videos generate a lot of different questions. I recommend you take advantage of 2 resources to answer your questions. First is head on over to our website at legacywoodworking.com. There you'll find all the different product information, additional cutting demonstrations, and much more. The second resource I recommend doing is actually getting in contact with one of our CNC experts. You can call them at 801-491-0010. They will be happy to answer any of your questions, put on software or cutting demonstrations with the machines, and point you to additional resources, again, to fulfill your needs. Now, if you'd like to just simply watch more videos, I don't blame you. Just click right over there. I think we all know what to do. If you want to be notified of future videos, just click that button down below, and don't hesitate to give us a like if you liked what you saw. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems and allows you to say yes to more opportunities than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.